The NBA world was shaken when Scottie Pippen recently sat down and dropped a bombshell about his relationship with Michael Jordan, saying bluntly that they were never really friends and haven't even spoken in years, a revelation that stunned fans who grew up idolizing one of basketball's most dominant duos. Behind the 6 championships and legendary chemistry on the court was a reality very different off it, a story of respect and competition, but distance in connection to truth. Pippen didn't hold back from sharing. Today on Dunk's Legacy, we break down exactly what he said, where the rift began, and why 2 of the greatest players in NBA history still can't seem to bridge the gap between teammate and friend.
When's the last time you and Michael spoke?
Right around the pandemic.
How many times did just you and Michael have dinner in Chicago? Chicago has a lot of great... Scottie, stop it. Scottie, stop it.
Never.
After dropping that bombshell about not being friends, Pippen didn't hold back when talking about how their relationship deteriorated in recent years. Unlike the seamless synergy they showed on the court, Pippen has repeatedly said that off the court they were never close, and that reality only became clearer as time went on. What fans saw for decades was legendary team chemistry, but what Pippen has revealed is a professional relationship that never fully crossed into real friendship. One of the key flashpoints in the feud came with Pippen's memoir Unguarded, where he opened up about long-standing frustrations, including feeling overshadowed by Jordan's star power and the way history has remembered their Bulls dynasty. In that book, Pippen admitted that he and Jordan simply never developed a true off-court bond, and that, despite sharing 6 championships, there was emotional distance between them that never healed. Basketball work. Pippen has also taken aim at how The Last Dance documentary portrayed their time together, feeling that the series overly glorified Jordan while giving insufficient credit to his own contributions on the court. That perception of imbalance angered Pippen, and he said that watching the doc made him feel both hurt and underappreciated, further widening the gap between them. In his memoir and in interviews, Pippen even used strong language to describe moments he felt were disrespectful, pointing fingers at what he saw as moments of selfishness and lack of acknowledgment. At one point, he called behaviors from Jordan's camp selfish, pushing back against past criticisms aimed at him for things like delaying surgery or asking for a trade. The tension wasn't just about perception, there were specific personal moments that caused real wounds. Pippen once expressed deep regret over not reaching out to Jordan after the tragic murder of Jordan's father, admitting that it was a missed opportunity that still weighs on him and may have cemented the distance between them. Jordan reportedly even tried to reach out after The Last Dance aired, sending Pippen a text message asking if they could talk, acknowledging that there was pain between them, and offering a chance to clear the air. Pippen wrote about that exchange, highlighting how infrequent their communication really was even in that moment. Despite these attempts at dialogue, Pippen has said in recent interviews that he believes the relationship is beyond repair. He has described Jordan as very difficult to deal with, suggesting that their personalities and different life paths contributed to an estrangement that simply never healed. Pippen has also taken personal responsibility for some of the breakdown, admitting he missed opportunities to bridge the gap. But even that acknowledgement hasn't led to reconciliation. For him, the lack of closeness isn't something he dwells on daily, but it still hurts when he reflects on what might have been. Fans around the world were stunned when Pippen said that they hadn't ever been close, given how seamlessly they played together and how their partnership delivered 6 NBA titles. That contrast between on-court excellence and off-court distance is at the heart of the recent controversy. Some former teammates have weighed in, noting that while Jordan and Pippen were perfect complements on the court, a two-way juggernaut, the personalities that made them strong competitors didn't necessarily make them close friends. In everyday life, critics of Pippen have pointed out that expressing bitterness over perception and credit may have fueled some of the tension, while others say his honesty provides long-needed context to a relationship fans once idealized. Whatever the reason, the estrangement is no secret anymore. In the years since their final season together, Pippen has sometimes expressed frustration about always being asked about Jordan, saying it gets exhausting to constantly revisit a partnership that, in reality, had many unresolved tensions. The public narrative of Jordan and Pippen, best friends forever, has shifted dramatically into teammates who dominated but never bonded, and that shift has become a major talking point in the basketball world. Despite all the tension, Both men's legacies as two of the greatest players in NBA history remain intact, but the personal rift has become a reminder that greatness on the court doesn't always translate. The harmony of it. Some voices close to the game have even urged reconciliation, noting that age and time should soften past wounds, especially given what they achieved together. But so far, Pippen's frankness and Jordan's silence have kept the divide wide. The story of their relationship now stands as a complex blend of triumph, frustration, respect, and regret, a legacy that's as compelling off the court as it was on it, and a reminder that even the best partnerships can fracture once the games are over. Even though Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan's relationship may never be fully repaired, their story remains one of the most fascinating in NBA history. The truth behind the championships and legendary teamwork shows that even greatness on the court doesn't always translate to friendship off it. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to hit like and subscribe to Dunk's Legacy for more inside stories from basketball history. The tension between Pippen and Jordan reminds us that legacies are complicated. Fans often see the highlight reels, but not the personal struggles behind the scenes. By understanding these dynamics, we get a fuller picture of the human side of basketball legends. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel to stay updated on the latest NBA insights. Even with their estrangement, the respect for each other's talent is undeniable. Both players changed the game and inspired generations of athletes worldwide. Pippen's candidness gives fans a rare glimpse into what it's like to share a dynasty with one of the greatest athletes of all time. These stories are as thrilling off the court as the moments on it. Understanding the nuances of the Pippen-Jordan relationship helps fans see that, even in peak performance, challenges exist behind the scenes. It's a lesson in teamwork, ego, and human emotion. Even after years apart, their story continues to spark conversation among fans, analysts, and players alike. It's a reminder that every legend has untold stories. Support the channel by liking this video and subscribing to Dunk's Legacy to explore more untold NBA tales. At the end of the day, Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan's legacy is more than wins. At championships, it's about perseverance, greatness, and complicated human relationships. If you love this breakdown, smash that like button, subscribe, and leave a comment about what you think of this story. Dunk's Legacy brings you the stories behind the legends. Spud Webb entered the NBA as one of the most unlikely stars the league had ever seen, standing just 5'6" in an era dominated by towering athletes. Drafted in 1985, Webb quickly gained attention for his explosive athleticism and fearlessness on the court. His rookie season with the Atlanta Hawks became a demonstration of pure determination and skill, proving height was never a limit to his potential. Every appearance he made drew fans who were fascinated by his extraordinary leap. Webb's early journey became a symbol of perseverance in professional basketball. From the start of his NBA run, Webb showcased a style that combined speed, agility, and creative ball handling. He wasn't just fast. He played with a low center of gravity that defenders struggled to predict. His quick bursts to the basket, sharp passing vision, and ability to finish among giants made him stand out instantly. Despite his size, Webb approached every game with intensity and confidence. His style emphasized outsmarting opponents rather than overpowering them. Webb's rookie year also revealed his incredible vertical leap, which would become his trademark. Coaches and teammates were stunned by his ability to rise above rim level, something unheard of for someone his height. This leaping ability gave him unexpected advantages, from rebounds to surprise blocks and occasional flashy finishes. While many viewed him as a novelty at first, Webb used each game to prove he belonged in the league. His athletic respect grew rapidly as opponents struggled to contain him. As the seasons progressed, Webb developed into a reliable point guard capable of controlling tempo and setting up his team's offense. His court awareness and unselfish play allowed scorers around him to thrive. Beyond his physical gifts, Webb possessed a sharp basketball IQ that made him a trusted floor general. He learned how to navigate defenses, read passing lanes, and push fast breaks with precision. Fans admired his ability to become a leader despite constant physical disadvantage. By the time Webb cemented his place in the NBA, he had become a cultural figure and inspiration to anyone told they were too small to chase their dreams. His iconic 1986 slam dunk contest victory shocked the world, proving that heart and talent could overcome any expectation. Webb's rise from an overlooked rookie to a respected NBA veteran highlighted the power of belief and relentless hard work. His story continues to resonate with players and fans across generations. If you want, I can now create his for major rivalries, full story, or a strong arrow like we did before. Michael Jordan became the most recognizable competitor Spud Webb ever faced, and their dynamic grew naturally out of the era's intense guard battles. Jordan's dominance often overshadowed smaller players, and Webb felt that many dismissed guards under 6 feet because they didn't fit the league's superstar profile. Webb never hated Jordan personally, but he knew Jordan represented the barrier every undersized player had to break through. Their matchups highlighted the completely different paths to success. For Webb, competing with Jordan meant proving that Hart could survive against unmatched physical greatness. Part of the tension came from public perception rather than direct conflict. Fans and analysts constantly compared Webb to bigger guards, using Jordan as the measuring stick. Webb admitted in interviews that he grew tired of people assuming small players couldn't compete at the same level. Every time he faced Jordan, he understood the world expected him to be overwhelmed. Instead, he used those nights to display fearlessness, attacking the rim and pushing pace. The rivalry was symbolic more than personal. The giant versus the underestimated. Webb also carried motivation from being overlooked during Jordan's early years in Chicago. Many scouts talked about the new era of athletic guards without ever mentioning Webb. Despite his historical slam dunk contest win, that added a layer of edge whenever their teams met. For Webb, Jordan's presence reminded him of the league's bias toward size and marketing power, yet he embraced the challenge, believing that competing against the best sharpened his game. Their rivalry became a testament to Webb's refusal to be invisible. Another meaningful rivalry developed with Dominique Wilkins. Though it remained rooted in friendly competition, Wilkins was Atlanta's undisputed superstar. When Webb beat Wilkins in the 1986 slam dunk contest, the media turned it into a dramatic storyline. Webb always clarified that Wilkins supported him, but competition between them pushed both players harder. Wilkins admired Webb's work ethic, yet the team dynamics sometimes created friction simply because roles were so different. Webb had to earn minutes and constantly fight for recognition, while Wilkins entered every season as the franchise's centerpiece. That contrast created a natural rivalry in practice sessions, where Webb often tried to outshine expectations. Their competitive energy became one of the reasons the Hawks were so explosive. Webb viewed Wilkins as both a mentor and a measuring stick. One of Webb's most underrated rivalries came with Muggsy Bogues. another groundbreaking undersized guard. Both were constantly compared for their height and speed, creating an unspoken contest over who represented the standard for smaller players. Even though they respected each other deeply, media pressure turned every matchup into a battle for credibility. Webb knew both shared the same struggles: doubt, criticism, and being overlooked. Their rivalry was built on parallel journeys rather than hostility. Webb often mentioned that Bogues pushed him to refine his passing and defense. When they faced each other, he always approached the game with extra focus, knowing fans watched to see which small guard dominated. Their games were fast, intense, and filled with pride. Webb believed that Bogues' presence forced the league to acknowledge the potential of shorter players. Together, their rivalry helped reshape how the NBA viewed height. Another strong competitive relationship existed with Kevin Johnson, a rising star guard who represented the new wave of athletic point guards. Johnson's explosive speed and scoring ability contrasted with Webb's style, creating frequent comparisons about leadership and playmaking. Webb admired Johnson's talent, but also felt motivated to match his impact on the court. Their matchups were showcases of speed, quickness, and decision-making. Webb always rose to the occasion when facing players who defined the guard position. Webb noted that Johnson embodied what many teams wanted: a perfect modern point guard, and that added pressure whenever their teams met. Webb had to rely more on creativity and experience because he lacked Johnson's physical advantages. The rivalry pushed Webb to study film, improve his passing angles, and become a more tactical floor general. It was a rivalry of styles, skill sets, and expectations. One more notable rivalry came with Isaiah Thomas, the Pistons' leader known for his intelligence and toughness. Thomas represented the pinnacle of elite point guard play, and Webb saw him as the ultimate challenge. Their games were chess matches, Thomas using craft and precision, Webb countering with speed and unpredictability. Webb always respected Thomas' mental edge, but competing with him required maximum concentration. Facing Isaiah forced Webb to elevate every part of his game. Thomas and Webb shared mutual respect, but Thomas' sharp competitiveness made every matchup intense. Webb admired how Thomas controlled the tempo, manipulated defenses, and led his team with authority. Meanwhile, Webb fought to break the stigma that undersized guards couldn't thrive. Their rivalry symbolized the different interpretations of what a point guard could be. Webb treasured those battles as some of the most educational moments of his career. In the end, the rivalries Webb experienced helped define his legacy far beyond his height. Facing legends like Jordan, Wilkins, Bogues, Johnson, and Thomas forged his identity as a fearless competitor. He understood that every matchup required him to prove himself all over again. Webb embraced the pressure with pride, transforming doubt into motivation. These rivalries strengthened his belief that greatness comes in all sizes. Spud Webb's journey remains one of the most uplifting stories the NBA has ever produced. Not because he was the biggest star, but because he proved that heart can outweigh height. His rivalries, friendships, and controversies shaped him into a player who never backed down from anyone, not even the giants of the game. Through every challenge and every doubter, Spud became a symbol of persistence, inspiring generations who saw in him the power of believing in yourself. As we close this video, Spud Webb's legacy stands as a reminder that greatness comes in many forms, and sometimes the smallest player can make the biggest impact. If you enjoyed this breakdown of his rivalries, journey, and unforgettable moments, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment about your favorite Spud Webb moment. Your support helps us bring more stories like this to life. Magic Johnson's journey began on the gritty playgrounds of Lansing, Michigan, where crowds formed naturally every time he picked up a basketball. His smile was bright, but his game was even brighter. Even as a teenager, he dominated older players with ease. Coaches instantly realized they weren't dealing with a normal kid. They were witnessing the rise of a future superstar. At Everett High School, Magic lifted an entire program onto his shoulders. His passing ability looked supernatural for his age, and his confidence was unbreakable. Scouts packed the gym just to watch him toy with defenders. He didn't simply lead teams, he transformed them. By the time he graduated, he was already a national name. Magic's college career at Michigan State was the next explosion. His duel with Larry Bird in the 1979 NCAA Finals became the most-watched college game ever. Magic controlled the floor like a chess master, shifting momentum with every no-look pass. That night, the world realized they had just witnessed the beginning of a rivalry that would change basketball. His victory launched him straight into the NBA spotlight when he joined the Los Angeles Lakers. Magic walked into Hollywood like he belonged there. The bright lights never scared him, they energized him. His rookie season became one of the most iconic in league history. He ran the offense with swagger, charisma, and brilliance beyond his years. The entire Lakers franchise shifted the moment he arrived. That shift reached its peak in the 1980 NBA Finals. With Kareem injured, Magic stepped into the center position and delivered a performance that left the world stunned. He scored, rebounded, passed, defended everything. At just 20 years old, he played all 5 positions and won Finals MVP. The legend of Showtime was born that night. Magic's early years in the NBA were full of speed, flash, and pure entertainment. Fans didn't just come to watch games, they came to watch Magic create basketball magic. The Staples Center became a stage. Every pass, every fast break, and every smile added to the myth of the young superstar. Magic wasn't just playing basketball, he was performing. The rivalry between Magic and Larry Bird became the engine that drove the NBA into global fame. Their contrasting styles, Magic's flair versus Bird's cold precision, created unforgettable battles. Every match felt personal, emotional, and historic. They pushed each other to new heights. Without this duel, the NBA wouldn't be what it is today. Magic's leadership on the Lakers wasn't always pretty. He demanded excellence. He clashed with players in practice, confronted teammates who lacked effort, and pushed every person around him to win. Some called him harsh, others called him a genius, but no one questioned his hunger. That fire created a dynasty that defined the 1980s. The Showtime Lakers became the greatest entertainment product in sports. With Kareem's skyhook, Worthy's power, and Magic's orchestration, the Lakers were unstoppable. Magic's full-court passes were poetry in motion. He changed basketball from a slow, grinded-out game into a beautiful, fast-paced spectacle. Every night felt like a party in Los Angeles. Magic also had his share of on-court conflicts and fiery moments. He wasn't afraid to fire back at opponents who tried to get physical. He talked trash, threw sharp elbows when pushed, and protected his teammates with intensity. His competitive nature sometimes boiled over in heated confrontations, but that edge was part of what made him unstoppable. His battles with the Boston Celtics reached legendary status. The physicality, the noise, the tension, every finals meeting felt like a war. Boston fans taunted him, players targeted him, and the pressure was immense. But Magic kept coming back stronger. His 1987 junior skyhook inside the Boston Garden became one of the most iconic shots. In NBA history, Magic's public persona was charming, but behind the scenes he carried the heavy weight of fame. He talked trash, threw sharp elbows when pushed, and protected his teammates with intensity. His competitive nature sometimes boiled over in heated confrontations, but that edge was part of what made him unstoppable. His battles with the Boston Celtics reached legendary status. The physicality, the noise, the tension, every finals meeting felt like a war. Boston fans taunted him, players targeted him, and the pressure was immense. But Magic kept coming back stronger. His 1987 junior skyhook inside the Boston Garden became one of the most iconic shots. In NBA history, Magic's public persona was charming, but behind the scenes he carried the heavy weight of fame. The constant cameras, expectations, and responsibilities wore him down at times. But he always managed to lift the team's energy when it mattered. His personality was the heartbeat of the franchise. Without his leadership, Showtime could not exist. Then came the day that changed everything. November 7, 1991. Magic announced to the world that he was HIV positive. The news hit like an earthquake. Some players feared playing against him, fans were confused, and the media exploded with speculation. HIV was misunderstood, feared, and surrounded by stigma. But Magic stood there with courage, refusing to hide. His retirement press conference became one of the most emotional moments in sports history. Magic smiled, stayed calm, and delivered a message of hope. Instead of disappearing, he educated the world about HIV. His bravery saved countless lives. He turned tragedy into awareness, fear into education, and stigma into strength. Magic's return in the 1990 All-Star Game became a global symbol of resilience. He dominated the game, hit clutch shots, and brought the crowd to its feet. In the final seconds, players from both teams embraced him, creating one of the most iconic images ever captured on a basketball court. Magic proved he was still Magic. After basketball, Magic transformed himself again, this time into a business titan. While many athletes lost money after retirement, Magic became a billionaire. He invested in neighborhoods others ignored, building theaters, restaurants, and real estate projects. His mission wasn't just profit, it was empowerment. Magic Johnson became a force in the business world as powerful as he had been in the NBA. Magic Johnson's life is a story of greatness, courage, and reinvention. From the playgrounds of Lansing to the bright lights of Los Angeles, he changed every place he touched. His battles, rivalries, and challenges shaped him, but they never broke him. Magic always found a way to rise. Always. His HIV announcement redefined bravery in sports. His business empire redefined what athletes could become. And his smile, leadership, and joy made him one of the most loved figures in sports history. Magic didn't just play the game, he changed the world around it. Today, his legacy shines brighter than ever. Magic Johnson stands as a symbol of strength, hope, and greatness that refuses to fade. His story reminds us that legends are not defined by the challenges they face, but by how they rise above them. Thank you for watching this incredible journey into the life of Magic Johnson. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more powerful sports stories. Your support keeps these legends alive.